Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first race of the 1990 Throwback season. We are here at the Daytona International Speedway for the 1990 Daytona 500, the richest race, well, in NASCAR. This has been NASCAR's most famous race since its inception in 1959. And it continues to be an extremely exciting event. Of course, the qualifying lineup has already been set with the dual races. If you have not watched them yet, I suggest going and watching them now. The qualifying lineup is displayed here on your left. Ignore the qualifying times, because the only two qualifying times that are correct are Alan Kulwicki and Davey Allison's lap times. And we're just gonna simulate to the start of the race here. Of course, with a quick overview of the top 10, as we usually do here on the Throwbacks. So, starting on pole will be Alan Kulwicki, and in second place will be Davey Allison. These two drivers are probably the two hottest young up-and-coming stars in the series. Behind them in third and fourth are the two dual winners, Morgan Shepherd on the inside row, Terry Labonte on the outside row. And then we have Dale Earnhardt in fifth, Hutch Strickland in sixth, rookie Jimmy Horton in seventh, Rusty Wallace in eighth, Michael Waltrip in ninth, and Dick Trickle will be rounding out the top 10 in his number 66 Pontiac. It should be an excellent race today. Here is the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
The command has been given off here from Daytona, and the Daytona 500 is just seconds away from beginning. The Fords all throughout Speed Weeks have shown immense speed. Very unsurprising to see three Fords, 1, 2, 3 here today. Very unsurprising to not see more Fords up here. Of course, Dale Earnhardt being as good as he has been at the Daytona International Speedway, your 1988 Daytona 500 winner. He's up there in fifth, no surprise. Probably the biggest surprise inside the entire top 10 is the number 80, the rookie Jimmy Horton, had an excellent run in his duel, finishing third. The pace car dives down into pit road, and the 1990 Daytona 500 will begin. The green flag is out here from Daytona. All the cars fly by. Alan Kulwicki gets a great jump off the start. He will take everyone into corner number one with the lead. Morgan Shepherd's going to dive into the corner. He will take the second position. Davey Allison continues to fall back on the outside. He's battling for third. Kulwicki continues to lead them as they fly by on the back straightaway. And he will continue to lead going into corner number 3. It looks like Kulwicki will lead the first lap of the race uncontested. 3 wide for the second position as they come off of turn 4. Rusty Wallace trying to redeem himself after what was an ugly year last year. Starting with his injury at Rockingham, struggling to get into the top 10 in points, and eventually fought and clawed his way to a 4th place points finish. And now here comes Wallace. He's going to go down to the bottom of the track, and Rusty Wallace is going to take the lead going down the back straightaway. You can see the standings of the top 10. They will be displayed in the upper left-hand corner of the screen for the race. And right now, Rusty Wallace seems to be in control. Jimmy Horton trying to take second away from Kulwicki. No dice. Here comes Michael Waltrip down to the bottom, and they're going 3, maybe even 4 wide back there for position. That's Phil Parsons there trying to make an aggressive move. Ricky Rudd, probably being the hottest free agent, was able to re-sign with his team. Look at the move by Michael Waltrip and Ricky Rudd. They are able to get really deep into turns 1 and 2, and they might be able to take the lead here coming down the back straightaway, and indeed they will. Michael Waltrip takes the lead going down the back straightaway. And it looks like Ricky Rudd will go into second. Rudd trying to force Waltrip up the track, trying to make him loose. Rudd can't get it done. Waltrip's going to bring him back to the line, and he will lead lap number 3. It should be noted that Michael Waltrip is still looking for his first career win. He came oh so close at Talladega, coming off of the final corner as the leader of the race. And Morgan Shepherd, no, it wasn't Morgan Shepherd, it was someone else. I can't remember who, but somebody just snatched the win out from underneath them. Morgan Shepherd is the person that won Daytona. Tim Richmond, and now here comes another story here. The Hendrick Trio, Richmond, Waltrip, and Labonte. All 3 of these drivers are extremely fast here. They didn't post the greatest duels, because of course the duels do require some luck, not just speed. But man, this Hendrick trio, the 25, the 17, and the 5, and to some supports, the 18 of Kenny Schrader, has also been pretty quick. Now look at this, Waltrip's going to pull away. It should be noted that Darrell Waltrip has never won the Daytona 500. So he's looking to do it. The person behind him, teammate Tim Richmond, did it in his first attempt with Hendrick Motorsports. He won it in 1986. Richmond goes down to the bottom, and he is being pushed by Phil Parsons. So Richmond's going to take the lead here. Phil Parsons, a not so shabby super speedway driver, trying to take the lead here. And what has to be one of the most interesting seasons of all time, Phil Parsons getting 18 top 10s last season and somehow not finishing within the top 10 in points. He didn't even have a large DNF total. So something went amiss with Phil Parsons, where he was racking up a bunch of top 10s, but just a lot of not so quality runs. And they're definitely going to try to redeem themselves this season, because early on, Phil Parsons looked like he might be a contender for the championship, considering how well he was running on the short tracks. It just didn't turn out to be a good season for Phil, though. And once again, the Hendrick power is starting to show. They're going 3 wide for second. Labonte down low, Richmond in the middle, and Rudd up high. Phil Parsons trying to block all 3 of them, trying to decide which lane to go with. Looks like he's going to stay right in the middle. Rudd's trying to get a strong run up near the wall. I don't think that's going to work. And Parsons gets loose, and here comes Labonte. Labonte is going to take the lead coming off of turn 4. And right behind him is Neil Bonnet. And right behind Neil Bonnet is last year's winner of the Daytona 500 in the number 11, Geoffrey Bodine. And boy, we've got a lot of good super speedway racers in this lane. Bodine, Hillen, Elliott, Irvin, all 4 of them have seemed to have great success here, either in this Speed Weeks or in multiple Speed Weeks in the past. Of course, they've also got NASCAR legend Dave Marcus down there, who is snatched a couple of surprise victories in his time here in the Throwbacks. So don't be surprised if he continues to do that. Taking a look in the back, JD McDuffie and Rodney Coombs have lost the draft. Kyle Petty and Jimmy Spencer, along with Larry Pearson and Jeff Purvis, they are all in danger of losing the draft. We'll see if they can keep with the pack. Going back to the front, Geoff Bodine was able to take the lead, but it looks like that's going to be momentary. Here comes Ernie Irvin down low, and he's going to take the lead going down the back straightaway. Dave Marcus and Dick Trickle behind him. Irvin's going to try to keep it pinned to the bottom, but it's really difficult. Lots of bumps through turns 3 and 4. Turn 4 notoriously out of grip. And Irvin is going to maybe pull away a little bit as he's going to try to show the prowess of that Larry McClure Oldsmobile. Over the past few years, Larry McClure hasn't had exactly the greatest lineup of drivers. Larry Pearson came up to the number 4 Oldsmobile with a lot of promise behind him after he substituted for after the career-ending injury to Rick Mast. It looked like Larry Pearson was going to be a stable for this 4 car after that season. He had a lot of top 5s, a lot of top 10s. It looked really good. And then it just fell through. He did not do well in the next 2 seasons. And now here is Ernie Irvan, as Phil Parsons went to the 2 team, which is where Irvan was in the past. And now Irvan's taken the most of this opportunity, staying about 2 car lengths ahead of a struggling pack. We haven't had a lot of strong cars up front, but I'll tell you what, Harry Gant, Ken Schrader, Sterling Marlin, all of those cars are definitely very good at the longer tracks. We'll see if they can run down the 4 car. They're going to go 3 wide through turn 4. Risky maneuver. And it looks like they're going to be able to do it clean. As I said, that's a really risky maneuver, but Gant's going to get it done. We'll see if Gant can continue to try to run down the 4. No, he's going to get forced up by Ken Schrader. And here comes Schrader. What a run! He's going to get underneath the 4 car coming down the back straightaway. And Ken Schrader, who I would nominate to be last year's breakout star, ended up having a multi-win season. Schrader ended up doing really well, but now it looks like it's going to be Sterling Marlin who's going to take the lead. And last year, the heartbreak happened to Brett Bodine. He's going to try to win it this year, though we don't really know if he can. That's not exactly as good of a car as the 15 of Bud Moore, but we will see. Morgan Shepherd and Brett Bodine swapping rides. Shepherd going to the 15, Bodine going to the 75. And now you can see Lake Speed, someone who does not have a win. Same thing with Mickey Gibbs. They're out here pretty much for their own team, trying to do something. Not exactly working out. Here comes Morgan Shepherd down low, and there is a surprisingly fast car. The number 32 of Joe Ruttman. He's really showed that he's put all of his effort into running this Daytona 500, and they are really trying to get that 32 car up there. Meanwhile, look at the move by Shepherd as he's going to take the lead here coming through turn number 2. Great move by the veteran. No stranger to super speedway success. And he's won back-to-back Talladega races before. He's won here at Daytona. Morgan Shepherd knows how to drive these cars, and despite being 43 years old, he still has a lot of racing left in him. Brett Bodine, the young one, he's going to try to stay with the 15. Meanwhile, this pack is all stacked up here. Look at the move by Brett. He's going to try to do something similar. And Bodine's going to take the lead. This 2-car dance is out in front of a pack that's really getting stacked up behind slower cars. The 32, the 90, the 01, they're all holding it up. But boy, do we have a gaggle of cars coming through. The 27, the 5, the 1, the 30, the 10, the 6. All of those cars. The 17, the 8, the 9. Oh boy, that inside line is stacked. Morgan Shepherd takes his lead back. But for how long? Look at this run by Rusty Wallace. For Wallace this year, it's all about redemption. He's still in his owner's struggle. Right now, this looks like it's going to be the last year that his current owner, Raymond Beadle, is going to be supporting that car. It's unknown what car Rusty Wallace is going to be driving next year. It's going to be interesting to see. Meanwhile, Terry Labonte, he will take the lead, trying to hold off some hungry drivers behind him. Michael Waltrip, Derek Cope, two drivers that have never won a race before. And you've got Mark Martin, Darrell Waltrip. They have never won a Daytona 500. Cope goes down to the bottom. He's going to get a huge run here on Terry Labonte. And yes, Cope is going to get pushed to the lead here by Mark Martin and Darrell Waltrip. And maybe if there was another breakout star to nominate, I would probably nominate Mark Martin because he did a fantastic job in the second half, at least, the second half of the season, really showing how far that team has come along. They're looking to contend for the championship this year, no doubt about it, with new sponsorship. Meanwhile, Darrell Waltrip, he is now going to take second place. Meanwhile, Derek Cope, a very hopeful driver. Well, never mind. Derek Cope's not going to have the lead anymore. Waltrip's going to take it. And now here comes Hillen. Can Hillen make any moves? Right now, Waltrip's all alone on that inside lane, and it's actually costing him. Derek Cope getting a strong push from Mark Martin on the outside lane. The inside lane's just too good, though. Here we go. JD McDuffie, he's going to hold up the pack a little bit. Nowhere for McDuffie to go, and the 17 is gone. Waltrip pulling away. He's looking for career win number 74. An undoubted NASCAR legend, the three-time champion, Darrell Waltrip. And here comes Elliott to the bottom. He's going to make a move on Hillen. Another undoubted legend, a two-time champion of the series now, 1984 and last year, 1989. Elliott moves to the bottom. Remember, he won the Prelude to the Throwbacks. That has predicted the winner of the Daytona 500 all but 2 years. Will it hold true this year? Maybe it will. Elliott is going to take the lead. And now here comes another one of those promising looking rookies, and that's going to be last year's NASCAR Grand National Series champion, the number 20 Rob Moroso. That car's looked pretty good, but hasn't had a ton of speed alone. We'll see how well he does in the pack here. He is really young too, breaking into the Cup Series at the age of 20. Age 20, number 20? That's not bad. Anyways, here comes Earnhardt. He's going to make a move on the young Moroso. Should also be known that Moroso ran 5 races last year, substituting for a suspended Rick Mast. Speaking of Rick Mast, he actually got up here. He's in the number 98 Chevrolet. He's falling back. And it's about time, but Hutch Strickland has found his way back up here. Hutch Strickland driving for a new owner last year. He was driving for Rod Osterlund in the 57, but this year, Bobby Allison has decided to break away from the Stavola brothers and form his own team. The numbers changed from the 84 to the 12. And now we've got cars pitting. That's early. And we've got cars wrecking. If I can find the accident, we have cars all over the track. Wrong. Well, this is going to be the perfect time to pit all these cars that just came down pit road. They're going to come out in front of everybody that didn't come out down pit road. It looks like Gant's going to lead these guys back to the line. Remember, it's race back to the yellow in NASCAR. Harry Gant's trying to compete, but no, here comes Michael Waltrip down to the bottom. Look at this. They're still fighting strong as ever, coming to the line. And Waltrip will lead them back to the line. Michael Waltrip leading them back to the line as they're all slowing down for the yellow flag. So I know cars were coming down pit road, but now it's time to see what exactly happened. Oh boy, this is a cluster, isn't it? Okay, so we'll try to keep on rewinding it. So it looks like after people went down for pit stops, they're going 4 wide here. Dave Marcus is the blue car, red car, 57 of Jarrett. You got the black car all the way on the outside, that's Davey Allison, and the yellow car is the 83 of Lake Speed. The 3 cars are going to end up coming together here, I think. Find out. Zero, the 57, he gets down into the 83. They make contact there. They go on to the 71. And they all go into the wall. Dale Jarrett getting... Oh, Dave Marcus getting T-boned there by the 43 of Richard Petty. 7-time winner of the Daytona 500. Does not look like he's going to make it 8 times. And Kyle Petty and Larry Pearson barely missing the 71 there. Oh boy. So, from a different angle, we're gonna watch this thing full speed. And you'll see here, there goes the 57 right into the wall. And there's the 71 getting popped by the 43. And look at this! So close. In fact, we've got cars going way down in the grass there, but I don't think any accidents are happening up ahead. Everything's still good. And there's Richard Petty, probably going to be unable to win his 8th Daytona 500 today. So now, out of everyone that hit it last time, we will see who's going to be scored where. Right now, Richard Petty, he's being scored 42nd. We're going to have to wait coming back to the line to see who is exactly scored in what position, because these pit stops that happen when a caution flag comes out always throws everything for a whirl. Some positions get locked, some positions don't. Because once you cross the line, your field is the field's frozen. If you got cars coming down pit road, you got cars coming down that cross the line just before the yellow flag waves, their position is not frozen. But then you have the car that comes down just as the yellow flag waves, and their position is frozen. So things usually get interesting. Oops. Earnhardt is going to be scored your leader. Okay, so the lineup is exactly how you see it, except Richard Petty there. He's being scored in 42nd. The only person to retire from this race, it appears to be the number 47. That is Jack Pennington, the rookie. So not a good way to start his Rookie of the Year campaign. We've got 3 contenders for Rookie of the Year in the form of Rob Moroso, Jimmy Horton. We've heard from those 2, and we've got the 47 of Jack Pennington. Sure, you've all heard of him. Oh, it looks like Hutch Strickland is also going to go behind the wall. That is disappointing considering he finished 2nd in his duel, had a great start up front, Unfortunately, it's not going to be for him. So usually these Daytona 500s have an interesting pit strategy at the end of the race. This caution is going to throw a wrench right into all those plans. That pit strategy is all going to go out the window. All drivers should be able to make it on fuel. So it'll be interesting to see what the finishing order of this race will be. It will be a close one. No doubt about that. Currently, your leader is the number 3, Dale Earnhardt. In second place, we'll have Tim Richmond. In third, we have Geoff Bodine. And in fourth, we have Harry Gant. So all 4 of these drivers have actually won the Daytona 500 since 1984. Earnhardt winning it in 88, Richmond in 86, Geoff Bodine in 89, and Gant in 84. We're just missing the 85 winner, Greg Sachs, who is not in the field. He is not entered in the Throwbacks. And we also have, missing from this, Bill Elliott, who is in 9th. So all of the previous Daytona 500 Throwbacks winners are all up here inside of the top 10. So it should be interesting to see how these former winners are going to mix in with the people who not only never won a Daytona 500, but have also never won a race in their career, considering Michael Waltrip, Brett Bodine, and Chad Little are all inside the top 10. They haven't won a race in their career. Harry Gant, he's hungry for a win. He hasn't won since 1984. So he's hungry for a win, and we all know it. We'll just have to see what happens. Pace car lights are off, so we are going to go green this time around. It'll be good right now to take a look at the fastest driver on the track right now, and right now, unsurprisingly, it's Kyle Petty who got his fastest lap when he was tailing the whole pack, 204.017 miles an hour. Anyways, we are going to go green here in the Daytona 500, lap 27. And Richard Petty is not going very fast down there in the bottom lane. And boy, the rivalry between these two drivers. 1986 champion Dale Earnhardt, 1987 champion Tim Richmond, 1988 champion Dale Earnhardt, 1989 Richmond second, Earnhardt third. So these guys, the 25 and the 3, they have been the dominating forces in NASCAR for the past 4 years. It's been pretty much all Richmond and Earnhardt with a little bit of dabbling of Elliott and Wallace. That's been about it. Meanwhile, as I'm speaking, Geoff Bodine will go back to the lead, who's looked strong in his 11 car throughout Speed Weeks. And it's an interesting debate to see who's going to be the benefactor of the driver swap. Bodine going to the 11, Labonte going to the 5. And it seems right down the middle right now. Labonte, he is currently positioned in 33rd, so he's not exactly doing well. In fact, he's stuck behind. He's stuck in this pack behind. No, he's not even stuck in the pack. He's stuck in this smaller pack that has separated from the lead pack. So that restart has separated packs out. Anyways, Geoff Bodine was leading, but not anymore. Here comes Ricky Rudd. And this is pretty much going to be your battle for the next 22 laps of this race. It's going to be between this pack. There shouldn't be any stops. It should be all green from here unless people bunch up behind Richard Petty. I highly doubt that's going to happen though. Anyways, Ricky Rudd, he continues to, well, he just got the lead. 21 laps to go here at Daytona. Rudd, Elliott, Moroso, Bodine, Waltrip is your top 5. And they're going to go 3 wide for second. Elliott up top, Moroso in the middle, Waltrip down low. Waltrip trying to win his first Daytona 500. Elliott trying to win his second. Moroso trying to win his first race and only his 6th career start. Rudd is going to slip up the track. Here comes Waltrip. Waltrip is going to take the lead. 20 laps to go. And here's a hungry driver, Mark Martin. After having a relatively disappointing year last year, well, maybe not a disappointing year, but definitely a growing pains year. They want to compete for the title this year, no doubt about it. Harry Gant is behind him. Here comes Dick Trickle to the bottom. Trickle's getting a strong push from the 2 supergiants of Earnhardt and Richmond. Martin goes up high. Trickle's going to go to the lead. Gil Yarbrough might have found a gem in the form of Dick Trickle. We'll find out. He'll come across the line. Trickle will get the 5 points for leading the lap. And now it's going to go Earnhardt and Richmond at the front again. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Trickle backs off. And something amiss on the 19 cars. He pulls off the track. That separates this into 3 packs. And these guys are still going slow from that. They're all going to get run down by Pack B. So now for the time being, we've only got these 6 cars. Harry Gant, Dale Earnhardt, Mark Martin, Dick Trickle, Tim Richmond, and Geoff Bodine. These guys are all going to get into single file now. That almost guarantees no passing, but Earnhardt's going to find a way. If there's a will, there's a way, and Earnhardt's going to try to find that way. Right now, Geoff Bodine's looking strong at the front. Tim Richmond in second. Geoff Bodine trying to win 2 Daytona 500s in a row for 2 completely different teams. Now, I think... I don't know much about my Daytona 500 ideology. There may have been someone that's won the Daytona 500 in back-to-back years. I'm not sure. I don't know. Well, I'm almost going to be certain that nobody's won it in back-to-back years with 2 completely different teams. And I'm sure Petty's won back-to-back 500 somewhere. But hey, to win back-to-back with 2 different teams, we'll see if Bodine's able to pull it off. Bodine and Richmond, they're actually starting to pull away from Earnhardt and the rest here. Earnhardt and Martin, they're going to fall into place. Dick Trickle falls into 5th. Gant to 6th. And, well, they're slowing down a little bit here. Richard Petty getting in the way. Earnhardt's going to go. Lap traffic being pivotal. And how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take for Earnhardt to get ran down here? Oh boy. Earnhardt, this will almost surely guarantee Earnhardt the 5 points for leading the most laps. He's way, way out here. He's way, way gone. Meanwhile, Richard Petty is going a good 20 miles an hour slower than everyone else. Moroso just trying to hang on. Bodine's trying to play catch-up. We'll see if Bodine's able to do it. Oh, yes, he will be able to do it. He's going a good 8 miles an hour faster than Earnhardt right now. And I thought Earnhardt's lead was going to last longer. It will not. You can see Chad Little, he's going to come back out onto the track after fixing whatever problem he had. Davey Allison, once again, going to have a terrible start to his season. He's going to either finish 36th or 37th. Earnhardt got ran down, but he hasn't been passed. Richmond's going to try to make a risky move. And then that's exactly what it was. Risky. And he's going to be the benefactor. But once again, Earnhardt's going to slip away. And now we've got more drivers back in this pack. We've got Harry Gant. We've got Ricky Rudd. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. Earnhardt survived at the front, but I don't think he's going to survive at the front any longer. Here comes Tim Richmond. He will take the lead. And that is with a bold statement. Richmond going for his second Daytona 500 victory. He leads a string of cars. Martin, Rudd, Gant, Trickle, Bodine, they're all there. They split into 2x2 behind them. Here comes Rudd to the bottom. Ricky Rudd's going to take the lead. Waltrip has joined the gang now. Darrell Waltrip is there. And now the question is, how long will it be until the pack behind these guys catch them? They're 6 seconds down. And these guys are running variable speeds at best. Take a look at the polls. And there, Waltrip is pulling down pit road. So an issue with the 17. He's going to be unable to win now. An issue with Darrell Waltrip. He's out of the running for the 500. Here comes Richmond to the bottom. He's going to take his lead back. Boy, oh boy, here comes Gant. Gant's going to go to the bottom. Chad Little in the 19 is a lap down. Dick Trickle is starting to lose the draft to this club. Now, this is a club of fast cars. So if Trickle ends up losing it, I don't really feel bad. He should not feel bad. I mean, Cale Yarborough doesn't have the greatest equipment in the world. But I'll tell you what, these guys are all with top-notch equipment. You take a look at Hendrick, Junior Johnson, Jack Roush, Richard Childress. They're all in here. Harry Gant has taken the lead for now. Boy, it is a side-by-side battle for that lead. Gant hasn't taken it decisively. 9 laps to go. And Gant's still got... And now Earnhardt and Trickle will break off to pit road. Maybe it's not problems. Maybe they just couldn't make it. Boy, this is just... More drama continues to happen here at the Daytona 500. And then there were 5. Ricky Rudd looks like he's going to take the lead. Gant's going to slide down into third, second in line on the inside. And everyone's trying to slide around, trying to figure out. And all of these guys are now going to go down pit road. Huge question marks are now on top of Geoffrey Bodine and Mark Martin. Huge question marks. Now what's going on? It looks... I don't think it's just these guys. I think everyone's been pitting. Well, right now, Bodine is your leader. And yeah, you're right. Everyone has been pitting. So maybe I was premature to say that. One more round of pit stops it's gonna be. Bodine hits pit road. As I try to find somebody that was with this lead pack. Here we go. We're going to follow Harry Gant and Ricky Rudd around this course. There's your pole sitter, Kawicki. He's way up there, too. I don't know if he has to pit yet or not. Mark Martin's coming out now. Here's Geoff Bodine. It looks like Alan Kawicki is going to come out your leader of the Daytona 500, I believe. We'll wait for the official word, but I'm pretty sure Kawicki is going to come out as the leader of the race. And we'll see if Kawicki can hold on for 5 more laps. No, he's coming down pit road. So Geoff Bodine is all alone. 5 laps to go. Oh, there's still the 18 car. He's still out here. Oh, Ken Schrader, he's still out on the track. No, he's coming down. So Schrader's coming down. So that is it. Geoff Bodine is all alone on the track, but cars are coming. Yeah, this is not Geoff Bodine's race by any means. He's only going to be in the lead for another lap or so, and it's going to be a 4-car dogfight to see who's going to win the Daytona 500. You're going to find out. 5 laps to go. You saw Ken Schrader coming out of the pits. Geoff Bodine's officially the leader. And this is the official battle to see who will win the Daytona 500. Geoff Bodine and Harry Gant, they have won the Daytona 500 before. Geoff Bodine is the reigning Daytona 500 champion. Ricky Rudd and Darrell Waltrip, they have never won the Daytona 500. And we've got a few cars back here. Tim Richmond, Dale Earnhardt, Kyle Petty, and Mark Martin. That is the next 4-car pack. They're not going to be involved in this finish. 4 laps to go. Gant at the helm. It looks like the prelude to the throwbacks will be unsuccessful in predicting the winner of this Daytona 500. As Elliott is currently in 23rd. He's nowhere to be found. Darrell Waltrip is going to get pushed to the lead here by Geoff Bodine. Waltrip's had a really bad string of luck ever since he's come over to Hendrick. This is going to be probably his last year in this ride, and you can bet he's going to want to make the most of it. We'll find out. Rudd's going to drop to the bottom. He's going to get around the 11 of Bodine. He's going to try to get the 17 of Waltrip. That's a bold move coming from the 26. Will he have enough momentum to do it? It looks like Bodine's going to leave the 17 out to dry. It should also be known that it's not just 4 different drivers. We've got 4 different manufacturers battling for the race. The Buick, the Ford, the Chevrolet, the Oldsmobile. All we're missing is the Pontiac. The next best Pontiac is currently in 7th with Kyle Petty. 2 to go. And this is all about superiority in every single way. Ricky Rudd is trying to hold on. Bodine drops down. Bodine's going to take the lead. We'll see if that's a sound strategy or not. I don't know. I think Harrogant is in the best position to win this race right now. I think Rudd, being in that first car in the outside lane, I don't think he's going to be able to have the time to do it. I think Gant right now is in the best position to win this race. Here they come to the line. Geoff Bodine will take the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Daytona. Will anyone be able to make a move on Bodine? Not going into turns 1 and 2. Jeff Purvis broke that up. Bodine's going to get away. Is this going to be enough to get back-to-back victories in the Daytona 500? Bodine's lead is 2 car lengths, entering turn number 3. Waltrip is going to try to get there. He's going to make the move to the inside. They're going to be side by side coming to the line. Who's it going to be? Waltrip pulls out in front. Waltrip will win the Daytona 500. Darrell Waltrip finally has won the Daytona 500. Unbelievable. He had to beat the defending winner of the race in order to do it. 0.04 of a second is the margin of victory for Darrell Waltrip. What a fantastic race. And that makes Hendrick yet another winner here at Daytona. They just seem to continue to gobble up the Daytona victories here. And you can see the official standings here on the left-hand side of your screen. There is everybody. And Darrell Waltrip is going to be your winner. Now you can see that there's a tie for the lead in points. That means that Geoff Bodine led the most laps. So of course he is going to get the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. Darrell Waltrip winning and only getting 5 bonus points for leading a lap. So they're tied in the lead for 180 points. And that's going to be it from this broadcast anyways. People have been asking for the full results, so I shall show the full results. Here they are. So you can see laps led, the interval, points, qualifying times, you name it, it's all there. And we're going to see you next time for the Pontiac Excitement 400 at Richmond.